The question, does God exist, is one of humanity's oldest and most profound inquiries. It is a question that has intrigued and puzzled the human mind for millennia. From the dawn of recorded history, people have sought to understand the nature of their existence, the universe, and the possibility of a higher power governing it all. The ancient Greek philosophers, with their relentless quest for knowledge and truth, pondered this question deeply. Figures like Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle debated the existence and nature of gods, each offering unique perspectives that have influenced Western thought for centuries. Similarly, the thinkers of ancient Sumer, one of the earliest civilizations, contemplated the divine. The Sumerians had a rich pantheon of gods and goddesses, each responsible for different aspects of life and the cosmos. Their religious texts and mythologies reflect a profound engagement with the question of divine existence and its implications for human life. This ceaseless pondering and seeking of answers to the mystery of a higher power are not confined to any one culture or era, but are a universal aspect of the human experience. As humans grapple with the concept of God or a supreme being, the question arises, is this notion merely a product of human thought and imagination? The idea of God or gods has evolved in different cultures, reflecting their unique histories, environments, and social structures. This diversity of divine concepts raises the possibility that our ideas about God are shaped more by human needs and experiences than by an objective divine reality. The inquiry into God's existence is intertwined with questions about the nature and origins of faith itself. Faith is a fundamental aspect of human consciousness, providing comfort, purpose, and a sense of connection to something greater than ourselves. Yet, the nature of this faith, its origins, and its object are complex and varied. In the Upanishads of India, for example, spiritual and cosmic knowledge is deeply explored, often without explicitly mentioning the concept of God as understood in Western monotheistic traditions. The Upanishads delve into the nature of the self, the universe, and the ultimate reality, Brahman, which transcends the personal deities worshipped in popular Hinduism. This philosophical and spiritual exploration leads us to wonder whether the concept of God is a later invention, a metaphorical expression of deeper, more abstract truths. What constitutes the entity we call God? Throughout history, various attributes have been ascribed to this being: omnipotence, omniscience, eternity, compassion, justice, and absolute goodness. These qualities represent the highest ideals humans can conceive, projecting our aspirations and moral values onto a divine canvas. The idea of an omnipotent being suggests a power beyond all comprehension, capable of creating and sustaining the universe. Omniscience implies a divine intelligence that knows all things, past, present, and future. Eternity denotes a timeless existence, unbound by the temporal limitations that define human life. Compassion and justice reflect our deepest ethical convictions, embodying the hope for a moral order in the universe. The notion of a wholly good force encapsulates our longing for ultimate goodness and purity, a perfection we strive for but rarely achieve. These attributes of God are not merely philosophical abstractions. They have profound implications for how we live and understand our lives. The belief in an omnipotent, omniscient, and benevolent God provides a framework for interpreting the world and our place in it. It offers answers to existential questions, provides a moral compass, and fosters a sense of hope and purpose. However, the diversity of human thought and experience means that these attributes are interpreted and valued differently across cultures and religious traditions. In monotheistic religions like Christianity, Islam, and Judaism, God is seen as a personal, transcendent being with whom individuals can have a relationship. In contrast, some Eastern philosophies and religions, such as certain schools of Buddhism and Hinduism, offer more impersonal or non-theistic conceptions of ultimate reality. The question of God's existence is not only about whether such a being exists, but also about the nature of reality and human consciousness. It challenges us to consider the limits of our knowledge and understanding, the role of faith and reason, and the ways in which our beliefs shape our lives and societies. Whether viewed through the lens of philosophy, theology, science, or personal experience, the question remains a central and enduring aspect of the human quest for meaning and truth. In the broader context of human history, this inquiry has led to the development of rich religious and philosophical traditions, each offering unique insights and answers. From the polytheistic religions of ancient Egypt and Mesopotamia to the monotheistic faiths of the Abrahamic traditions, and the non-theistic spiritual paths of Buddhism and certain forms of Hinduism, the question of God has inspired a vast and diverse tapestry of thought and belief. In conclusion, the question, does God exist, is far more than a simple query. It is a profound and multifaceted exploration that touches on the deepest aspects of human existence, knowledge, and aspiration. It is a question that has shaped civilizations, inspired profound philosophical and theological debates, and continues to resonate in the hearts and minds of people around the world. Whether seen as a quest for truth, a search for meaning, or an expression of our highest ideals, it is a testament to the enduring human spirit and our unending journey towards understanding and transcendence. The Buddha's answer. One day, someone asked the Buddha, "Does God exist?" The Buddha looked at the person and said, "Yes." The individual was astonished because it was commonly believed that the Buddha did not believe in God. Even Ananda, one of the Buddha's closest disciples, was shocked. Throughout his life, the Buddha had critiqued any notion of God. Ananda had made a pact with the Buddha. Before becoming his disciple, Ananda requested a few conditions. The Buddha must answer his nightly questions, keep Ananda by his side, and meet anyone Ananda brought to him, even at midnight. The Buddha agreed, knowing Ananda would not misuse these requests. So, when the Buddha claimed there was a God, Ananda was stunned but couldn't ask amidst the crowd. Later that day, someone else asked the Buddha the same question, and he answered, "No, there is no God." Ananda was utterly confused, but endured the contradiction. That evening, another person came to the Buddha and asked, "Can you tell me about God?" The Buddha closed his eyes and remained silent. The person also closed his eyes. After half an hour of silence, the individual bowed and thanked the Buddha for his teaching. Overwhelmed, Ananda approached the Buddha and said, "I cannot understand." Those three people did not hear all three answers. They only knew one. "But we heard them all. You must consider us too. We will go mad if this continues." The Buddha replied, "You must remember something. First, those questions were not yours, so I did not answer for you. Why are you puzzled? It is not your concern. It is between me and those people." Ananda responded, "I understand now. That wasn't my question, and you didn't answer for me. But I have ears, and I can hear." The three answers completely contradict each other. First, you said yes, then no. Finally, you were silent, yet that person kissed your feet and thanked you. The Buddha explained, "You see life in a rigid way. Everything is relative." For the first person, the answer had to be yes because it suited him, his question, his essence, his life. He is an atheist and always asserts there is no God. I did not want to support his ignorance, so I answered yes to wake him up. The second person believed in God and wanted me to support his belief. I do not support any beliefs, so I had to say no. The third person had no beliefs and approached with an open mind. For someone like that, silence was the only appropriate answer. He understood that God is not a theory to be followed or opposed. He left in joy having found his answer. The Buddha and Ananda. Ananda was a cousin of the Buddha and the son of Amitabha, who was the brother of King Suddhodana, the Buddha's father. Because his birth brought great joy to everyone in the family, he was named Ananda, which means joy. Ananda became a monk under the Buddha, along with other young men from the Sakya clan. When the Buddha was 55 years old, Ananda was appointed as his personal attendant. For the next 25 years, until the Buddha's passing into nirvana, Ananda remained constantly by his side, tending to his daily needs. Ananda possessed an extraordinary memory, recording all of the Buddha's discourses as well as those of several senior disciples without omission. Once a Brahmin asked Ananda how many teachings he remembered, and Ananda replied that he recalled 82,000 discourses by the Buddha and 2,000 by the bhikkhus, making a total of 84,000 teachings. The Buddha praised Ananda's 5 virtues: extensive learning, excellent memory, steadfastness, meticulous care, and good conduct. It was only after the Buddha's nirvana that Ananda attained the state of an arhat. This was because, while the Buddha was alive, Ananda was preoccupied with his duties as an attendant and with memorizing the Buddha's teachings. Ananda entered nirvana at the age of 120, the unmoving in sleep. The Buddha's ability to maintain a single, serene position throughout the night while sleeping is one of the most intriguing aspects of his life and has captured the imagination of his followers for centuries. This remarkable feat not only exemplifies his extraordinary self-discipline, but also offers profound insights into the nature of mindfulness, consciousness, and the human condition. This story has been preserved in numerous texts and artworks across various cultures, each depicting the Buddha's peaceful, unmoving repose as a symbol of ultimate tranquility and enlightenment. In his daily life, the Buddha was a paragon of serenity and composure. His every action, word, and thought were marked by a profound sense of mindfulness and awareness. This extended to his sleep, where he maintained a state of restful alertness that astounded those around him. Unlike ordinary people who toss and turn throughout the night, the Buddha lay in a single posture, known as the lion's pose, characterized by lying on his right side, with one hand supporting his head and the other resting on his side. This position, often depicted in statues and paintings, became an enduring image of the Buddha's serene and enlightened state. The significance of this unmoving sleep goes beyond physical discipline. It reflects a deep inner stillness and mastery over the mind. The Buddha's ability to remain perfectly still throughout the night symbolizes the cessation of mental restlessness and the attainment of a state of inner peace. In his teachings, the Buddha often spoke about the importance of calming the mind and overcoming the incessant fluctuations of thoughts and emotions. His unmoving sleep serves as a powerful metaphor for this teaching, illustrating that true tranquility comes from within. One day, Ananda, the Buddha's devoted attendant and cousin, gathered the courage to ask about this extraordinary phenomenon. Ananda had observed the Buddha's sleeping habits for years and was fascinated by the consistency and stillness with which the Buddha slept. Unlike ordinary people, who often shift positions unconsciously during the night, the Buddha remained in the same posture, exuding a sense of calm and awareness even in his sleep. With curiosity and respect, Ananda approached the Buddha and said, "Master, I have always wondered about your sleep. You lie in that position all night without moving. Do you truly sleep? Most people turn over in their sleep without realizing it, but you seem fully aware even while resting. How is this possible?" The Buddha smiled gently at Ananda's inquiry, recognizing the sincere curiosity and devotion behind it. He understood that Ananda's question was not merely about the physical act of sleeping, but about the deeper principles of mindfulness and consciousness that underpinned his behavior. "Ananda," the Buddha replied, "when the mind ceases its restlessness, there are no dreams. Only the body sleeps. The consciousness is always alert." This simple yet profound explanation revealed the essence of the Buddha's practice. For him, sleep was not a state of unconsciousness, but a continuation of his mindful awareness. His mind, free from the turmoil of desires and distractions, remained calm and alert, even as his body rested. This state of restful alertness allowed him to experience deep rejuvenation without the need for physical movement. The Buddha's unmoving sleep was also a reflection of his deep meditation practice. Throughout his life, the Buddha spent countless hours in meditation, cultivating a state of equanimity and insight. This meditative discipline permeated every aspect of his being, including his sleep. The stillness of his body mirrored the stillness of his mind, a mind that had transcended the ordinary dualities of waking and sleeping, activity and rest. In the Buddhist tradition, the Buddha's sleeping posture and his ability to maintain mindfulness during sleep have been interpreted in various ways. Some see it as a testament to his physical discipline and mastery over his body. Others view it as an embodiment of his spiritual achievements, a symbol of his enlightenment and his ability to remain unperturbed by the vicissitudes of life. The depiction of the Buddha in the reclining position, known as the parinirvana posture, has become a significant motif in Buddhist art. Statues and images of the reclining Buddha can be found in many Buddhist countries, each representing not only the Buddha's serene sleep, but also his final passage into nirvana. These artworks serve as reminders of the ultimate goal of the Buddhist path, the attainment of liberation and the cessation of suffering. The story of the Buddha's unmoving sleep also carries a message for practitioners. It encourages them to cultivate mindfulness and awareness in all aspects of their lives, including the seemingly mundane activities such as sleeping. It suggests that true mindfulness is not limited to formal meditation sessions, but is a continuous practice that permeates every moment of life. By observing the Buddha's example, practitioners are inspired to deepen their own practice and strive for a state of unshakable tranquility and insight. Moreover, the Buddha's response to Ananda highlights the importance of understanding the nature of the mind. The restless mind, driven by desires and aversions, is the root cause of suffering. By calming the mind and observing its true nature, one can attain peace and liberation. The Buddha's unmoving sleep is a manifestation of this profound understanding, a living example of the mind's potential for stillness and clarity. In modern times, the story of the Buddha's unmoving sleep continues to inspire people seeking inner peace and spiritual growth. It offers a timeless lesson on the power of mindfulness and the possibility of achieving a state of deep tranquility and awareness. As practitioners reflect on this story, they are reminded of the transformative potential of mindfulness and the profound peace that arises from a still and awakened mind. The Buddha's ability to maintain a single, serene position throughout the night while sleeping remains a powerful symbol of his enlightenment and mastery over the mind. It is a testament to his deep meditative practice, his understanding of the nature of the mind, and his unwavering commitment to the path of mindfulness. This story, preserved and cherished across cultures and generations, continues to inspire and guide those on the spiritual path, offering a glimpse into the profound peace and insight that lie at the heart of the Buddha's teachings.